Good afternoon, classmates and professor. I will be giving a presentation on my personal experiences, but before I begin, I would like to ask you all in the audience, do any of you all have children or are expecting children currently? If you haven't guessed already, my speech will be about the birth of my firstborn, which coincidentally taught me that preparation is always key. Now, the day was July 15th, a little under 2 months ago. And before I begin, I would like you all to think back to July 15th and ask yourselves, what were you doing that day? Were you working? Were you in class, studying? Were you on vacation? Worried about COVID? For me personally, July 15th was pretty much like any other day. Only exception was that I originally had the day off and was called into work. Now, what was so significant about July 15th was that during the entire day, my girlfriend had constant cramping and contractions due to the fact she was 39 weeks pregnant. Nevertheless, the severity alarmed us both. So throughout the entire day, she complained, and finally, after I got off work, we went to the hospital. Keep in mind, we arrived at 9 p.m. and during our time at the hospital, about 50% of it was closed. So we pretty much had to walk from one end of the hospital to the next to finally get to the labor and delivery section of the hospital, which is where the babies are born. Now, we're there from 9 o'clock to 1 a.m. waiting and getting multiple tests and waiting even more just to find out that she's still 1 centimeter dilated. And for those of you who aren't around babies or pregnant women, that just means that she was at that point nowhere near having the baby. So we both felt that it was a bit of a waste of time. Nevertheless, it was a necessary waste of time. So afterwards, we went back home, and the next day I had work, of course. So the next day as well, she also suffered from severe and constant contractions, which grew actually even worse from the previous day. So as any person would, we went to the hospital the next day. Obviously we were a bit more cautious because we just was at the hospital a day ago. But we went back to the hospital pretty much carrying everything that we needed with us to stay overnight, because we were under the impression, just like the night before, we were under the impression that she was going to give birth and we were going to have a child. So brought everything with us, and we again waited and went through a lot of testing just to find out that again she was still 1 centimeter dilated. Now at this point, we're both pretty disappointed. We're getting ready to leave, and about 15 minutes after we received the test results and we were getting ready to leave, her water broke. Her water broke. That was pretty exciting. So within 3 or 4 hours after that, the baby was born. And I can honestly say that with all of that going on, the preparation that we had in place, by bringing all of the things that we needed before actually knowing that she was giving birth, gave us a big advantage. So I would say all in all that preparation is key, and that if this story doesn't prove that, then I don't know what does. Thank you.